Hello, good evening. So I'm going to kick off with the dollar. I have gone out to the yearly chart and it may seem a bit extreme, but I just want to see how far up we can expect this candle to expand. And we do have these highs up here and these candles closes and opens around 102. Obviously huge resistance, so there's nothing really standing in its way until there. So I think my bias is still to long the dollar and look for trading opportunities based off that on the smaller time frames. So looking to really get in on any pullbacks. So we'll start off with EURUSD, and this is the yearly chart as well. We've got this low that could come into play, and then we have this support also that could come into play. So with that in mind, any pullbacks on the lower time frames will be trading opportunities for me, and this is just how I'm getting my bias. So obviously fundamentally as well, the dollar is looking pretty strong over the euro. So let's go down and we'll get a closer look at this instrument. We do have this level of support to break through on the weekly. You can see support here, bounced once and come down to retest it. If we can break below there, and now we have support, could turn to resistance, and then we could get a move back down. Either we get a bounce, which could be very likely, and then we could look to trade that bounce back down, or if we get a break and retest, that's what I'll be looking for. Let's go down into the daily and we'll have a closer look. Last week we were bearish in this instrument and we came down as expected, but at this support we're going to have to wait for new price action. So I'm just going to mark in this low, support here and support here. So either we come up or retest this level and then look for selling opportunities in the lower time frames, or we break, and what I mean by that is a daily close below and retest to look for further downside on euro. There is a lot of news coming out next week, a few interest rate decisions that you'll probably have to keep an eye on. I won't go over them in this video, but make sure you check them out and don't be getting on the wrong side of the market, especially in front of those decisions. You can also wait till after those decisions, see how price is moving, and then make your decision. There's no point in really guessing at this point. So yeah, bearish bias on EURUSD, pound, and bias is to the downside on that as well. This will be the daily chart, just marking out this low. You can see it acting as support at the moment, so I'm just using most recent support and resistance to support my bias. We have support here and clear support again. So what would we need for further downside? Well, we would need a daily close below there, and then I would look for opportunities to the downside. Or if we get a pullback from here, I can be patient enough to look for previous support, previous resistance through here, and then look to just sort of play the range that we'll be in there. And what I mean by that is this range low and this range high over here. So in between here is the playground. You don't really want to be trading in the middle. You want to be trading in the upper portions or the lower portions of that range. So yeah, nothing really stopping me changing my bias at the moment. We've had quite the run down, and I'll just be playing that until I see a significant shift in fundamentals and a significant change technically as well. So those are the two top instruments that I'll be looking at. Dollar yen as well. Yen obviously very, very weak. Bit overstretched at the moment, so pullbacks are key, which we could get. We hopefully have some support here, or some resistance, sorry. We can get a pullback and then look to break structure. At the moment there's no real levels. It's just been all one way at the moment. So I can look at the weekly chart and mark out previous weekly levels, and what I mean by that is just weekly highs and lows or weekly opens, whatever looks good. So we'll have this candle close, this candle open, and I'm just going to take that up to this, just to generate a little area that I can work off on the lower time frames, and so you can see what that looks like if I go down into the hourly. So you can see the pullback here, resistance, 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 little sweep of the level, break above, and now that is acted as support to push price higher. So if we get a pullback into that level, then I'll be looking to use that level to trade higher. So this may be a week, maybe just sit in the sidelines, or maybe don't put too much capital on the line with all these news events, and possibly waiting on these pullbacks that we're looking for on the dollar, because it seems to be a little bit overstretched. But saying that, any trades that do set up, I'll post into the group. Not really too interested in Kiwi or Aussie against the dollar. They've been quite strong, and I'd rather pair them with maybe yen pairs. And also dollar CAD, it's two strong currencies against each other, so I'm going to leave that, and there's no point in going over instruments that I'm not really too fussed about. So I'm going to look at EURCAD. I'm going to go out to the daily time frame. You can see that we've been on this very bearish run, and I don't really see anything standing in its way. There's nothing technically that's changed anyway. Lower lows, lower highs. We're coming into some support here, and I'll be looking for trades on the lower time frames of this daily level of support turn to resistance. Bias to change a little bit if we do get a daily close above there. You can see, let me just zoom in here so you can see what I'm talking about. So clear support here, clear resistance. It's feeling the close above here. If we get a daily close above there, then that's me on the sidelines, and we probably go wait till we come up into some previous support over here, turn to resistance, and then that's where we can look for the down move. Just because this is very bearish doesn't mean it has to fall from here. I mean, we can get pullbacks. You can see this pullback was quite sharp, and then we moved in the direction that we want it to. So yeah, eyes are on this level. Could just fall from here, but I'll assess the situation once the market's open, etc. And yeah, as I said in the last video, having a bias is the easy part, but once price action starts to unfold, then that's when things get a little bit tricky, and you sort of have to move on your feet and just sort of go with what price is telling you. So EURCAD to the downside, pound CAD to the downside as well. Also, let's just clean off this and start off with a clean chart. We're in sort of a range at the moment on pound CAD, so we have these highs and we have these lows, so support down here, resistance here, and we're just stuck in this range. I'm looking for lower prices, so any pullback to the top of this range, and then I can look for selling opportunities, or if we get a daily close below and retest, then I could look again at this instrument. CAD yen, obviously trying to pair up some strong currencies with some weak currencies. We'll come into some resistance on the daily, resistance here, resistance here. If we get a daily close and retest, then I would target this high, but other than that, I would like a pullback down into this previous support where we got this run, and then that's where I would look for some buying opportunities. But my bias is bullish on this instrument. Same with Aussie yen, most of the yen pairs, to be fair. I'm looking for a pullback to get on board, so I'll keep it simple. There's no point in me breaking it down. Just look for previous support. Where would that be? We'll look where we flew off from last time. If we can get a pullback into there, maybe a sweep of this level back above, and then look for some buying opportunities. But yeah, that pullback is necessary if we want to get involved further on that. So yeah, those are the instruments I'm keen on. Anything else pops up, I will add it to the watch list, and you can find that watch list in the Discord group. So I'll leave it there. I'm going to do a separate video for crypto, and I'll have that posted tonight or tomorrow morning at the latest. Wishing you a profitable week, And yeah, let's see how the market unfolds this week.